Hey, it's time to get started on your essay. 2.5 Step 3, Planning Your Literary Analysis on the Handmaid's Tale video. Students will be able to investigate a line of inquiry and write a literary analysis on The Handmaid's Tale is our goal by the end of this unit. So let's take a look. How are you going to get there? Well, first of all, what is it you're supposed to write? You're supposed to write a literary analysis. A literary analysis explores a line of inquiry. Inquiry refers to a focused, purposeful approach or a pathway of questioning that guides the exploration and the interpretation of the novel. And so this is a question that you've been asking, and now you're going to solidify it in the work that you're doing for 2.5 Step 3. It also makes an argument about the topic. So it doesn't just explore a line of inquiry, it makes a stand, it takes a position, one that is argumentative and that is interesting. Someone could refute it, they could fight you on it, because it could have multiple ways of being interpreted. It draws that interpretive conclusion where you are saying, this is the meaning that Atwood suggests in the book. It supports the argument with examples. For this essay, I think 6 good examples would be great. 3 minimum. And of course, this literary analysis analyzes authorial choices, literary aspects, whatever we want to call them. If you are in the IB program, this is your higher level essay, and in January, you're going to submit it, and at that time, it'll be 1,200 to 1,500 words, but this is a process, and this is just our first draft. For this draft, I want you to shoot for about 500 words as a minimum, so more than 500 is what I hope for. All right, so the inquiry process is what we are using as we write this literary analysis, and it's a recursive or recurring cyclical process where you continually are moving in this circle. And so we've been doing it all along as you've been taking notes in your packet and working in your hub huddles. It starts with asking a question. Now for this literary analysis, I want you to write your line of inquiry that you are going to work on answering for the essay that you type up. What I want you to do after you write that line of inquiry is go back to the notes in 2.2 Step 3 and 2.4 Step 4 and look for the best examples. If you don't have them there, you have to go back to the book and use the packet to help you, because I've written discussion questions in all of the Aspire to-dos that might help you. The next step is to interpret and analyze the information. Now, you've done some of that already, but now that you've finished the book, it's time to look at what are the effects of these literary aspects on meaning, and how does the use of them further a particular theme. What point seems to be the theme, or what point seems to be what Atwood is getting at by using these literary aspects, connecting to these themes. And you're going to evaluate all of these examples, look at how they connect to each other. That's why it's so important to get examples from the beginning, middle, and end of the book, because you want to see how the pattern changes, how it progresses, regresses, and draw conclusions about those changes. And then finally, you're going to communicate your findings by writing your essay. All right, so that's the inquiry process that we're using as we write this literary analysis. In your packet, I want you now to reflect on one of the essential questions from the unit. They are listed in your packet. Here they are again. Tackle one that is interesting to you, one that connects to the literary aspect you've been tracing, and just give it some thought. You're just brainstorming right now. You're just letting those genius juices flow. And you can do that right now and pause the video. When you're ready to come back, we'll move to the next question. Are you coming back? In relation to the question you answered for number 1, explain Atwood's point about one of the themes. What does Atwood suggest by doing what she's done with the literary aspect and getting at these themes? Try starting your sentence with this sentence frame. Atwood suggests. Take a moment now to do that. I'm happy to help you with this too if you want to come and chat with me about any of it. Talk to your pod members. All right, pause now as you work on this. Ready to come back? Now you're going to write your line of inquiry. Your line of inquiry needs to have certain components. First, question words. Second, author. Third, the name of the text. Fourth, the type of genre. 5, the literary aspect you're investigating. 6, a rich idea or theme. 7, precise context. So the example that's in your packet is this one. How and to what effect does Ariel Dorfman's characterization of Paulina in the play Death of the Maiden illustrate the struggle for freedom in a post-dictatorship? So you can see how all 7 components are there. We've got the question words here. How and to what effect does. The author's name is Ariel Dorfman. The text is called Death and the Maiden, and it's italicized because it's a major work. The genre is play. And the literary aspect is the characterization of Paulina. The rich idea is the struggle for freedom. And the precise context, when was this written? Post-dictatorship. All right. How about one for okay, sorry. And we're back. So after you write your line of inquiry, and it's going to take you a moment, I imagine, to do so, then you're going to investigate it. You're going to go back to the work that you've done in your packet in 2.2 step 3, 2.4 step 3, and investigate your line of inquiry. Make sure that you have a good example from the beginning of the book, a good example from the middle of the book, and a good example from the end of the book that connects to your line of inquiry. And as I said before, it'd be great to have 2 from each section. 6 total is a really good goal. You're going to want to explain how each one connects to your line of inquiry, and you're going to include a quotation for each example as you work on 2.5 step 3 in your packet. Finally, the last step is to turn your line of inquiry into a thesis statement. And for the thesis statement, you're going to want to make sure that you have the genre, the author with the name of the text, the literary aspect, and the rich idea or theme. Now, it's going to take you a while to get here, right? Because you have to do some investigating. You have to do all of that work in the inquiry process where you're analyzing, evaluating, and interpreting. You're looking at how these different things connect together. So it's not just, something you're going to do in 15 minutes. This takes some time and energy. But let me show you an example of a thesis statement. Once you've done all of that work that takes all that time and energy, you're going to be able to create something like this. In the ancient Greek tragedy Medea, Euripides utilizes the motif of poison to illustrate Medea's role as an other who is outside of the Greek society of the 5th century BCE. So we've got genre here, author with name of the text here, literary aspect, and the rich idea. All right. There are 2 sample essays in Schoology for you to look at. They're both about Medea, but those will be good for you to read to see what I'm looking for this literary analysis, because they're both good examples. And there's also an outline in your packet that you are more than welcome to use as you start working on this essay. Good luck to you. Let me know what you need from me. I am here to help you. Feel free to come up and do a conference with me at any time.